So good evening, Mr. Yosafat. So today we will do a presentation for our translation project, the translation of Flannery O'Connor's book, The Complete Stories from English to Indonesian. And we will introduce ourselves. My name is Fendi.
My name is Antonio Kalimin.
And we will start from the background. So translation has an important role in making easy reading from a text from a foreign language that people may not be able to comprehend to other language understood by the target language. The book chosen for this final project is entitled The Complete Stories by Flannery O'Connor. And this book was published on November 8, 1971 by Farrar, Straus, and Giroux in United States.
So we start the summary of the short story by the Complete Stories. From first stories is titled "A Good Man Is Hard to Find." The story is tell about a family vacationing in Florida. In the opening story, the grandmother persuaded her only son Bailey to go to East Tennessee because she had just read about an inmate who escaped to Florida. It called the Misfit. On the way to Florida, they stopped at the Red Sammy's famous barbecue, where the owner discussed the changing times. The owner told Grandma, "A good man is hard to find," and the grandmother had a similar view. The second story is Parker's Bag. This story tells about unbelieving Obadiah Elihu Parker marries fundamentalist Sarah Ruth, who is determined to save her husband's soul. Parker eventually becomes more devout after a weird accident in which he smashed a tree. He has tattoos all over the front of his body, but the feels complete to get a designated tattoo of Chris placed on his back because he believes his wife will like it. And the third story is Judgment Day. This story tells about the central character, this place Southern living with his daughter in New York City, who wishes to return home to die. While and all on somewhat big man, Tanner fondly remembers his relationship with a black man and hopes to befriend a black tenant in his daughter's apartment building. This story concerns Tanner's ability to recognize difference in Southern and Northern attitudes toward race. So this is the challenges while we translate this story. The translation of the words he and she into Indonesian has the same meaning of he and makes the word he must be translated by changing the word he to pria itu or wanita itu in Indonesia so that the use of he and she becomes clearer for the man or woman in the story. Use of difficult words and sentences. For example, the government ain't got around yet to forcing the white folks to work for the color. Describe the appearance of character in the story, describing the natural surroundings and the emotional character. So this is the strategies to deal with the challenges.
So the first one is translator machine. So in this modern era, many application or AI that can help people in many things. One of them is in translation. So to help us in translating this book, we use Google Translate and DeepL in help us to translating some new vocabulary for us. And we also use the Oxford Learning Dictionary in internet to help us translating some word that maybe for us is trend and never we read before.
The second strategy is equivalent strategies from Final and Darbonet. According to Final and Darbonet, stated by Wardour, namely equivalent strategies. Equivalent strategies are strategies that describe the same situation using different styles or filters. This strategy can happen because the translator wants to maintain the beauty of the text so that the target language can feel the same meaning. The equivalent strategy is usually used to translate idiomatic expressions. Even if the translation cannot be taken literally, the meaning and the beauty of the text remain the same.
And the next is the conclusion. So the interesting thing in translating stories in Flannery O'Connor's book is that many aesthetic sentence and literary sentence are very difficult to understand. So we have to learn this difficult sentence and try to change the sentence into easier sentence, but the change in sentence do not disrupt the original meaning. And that's all from our presentation. And
Thank
thank
you.
you.